Hello everyone, welcome back to a new replaycast. Today we're going to be going over a best of 5 series between PtitDrogo and ShoWTimE. And we see something special here coming out of PtitDrogo as he starts with a Nexus first. Now, Nexus first is one of those strategies which wasn't really viable to play in the past because we didn't have the battery overcharge. But now that battery overcharge is a thing, all of a sudden it has become extremely viable. It's just one of those builds that it does have counters, but in theory you can defend a lot of things by making some intelligent gambles, by doing some scouting around your base and just getting a lot of units out. Now we see ShoWTimE here with the response of very early scout. Actually, this was a 13 scout, or sorry, gateway scout. I haven't played Heart of the Swan in 5 years and I still call gateway scouts 13 scouts because that's what it used to be back in the day. And as one of the nice things you have with a gateway scout is that you can respond to this kind of thing. So you will most likely see, well, this is a proxy robo location. A proxy Stargate usually is a bit closer, could still be a proxy Stargate though. He does have a lot of gas in the bank, so it is possible. We see 2 stalkers, 1 warp gate, followed up by a robotics facility, which is gonna go down in about 2 minutes and, well, this looks like 12 seconds or so. It's not the fastest robotics facility, but it is at an okay timing. Now, we have Drogo over here, double gate after Nexus first, and the goal for Drogo is to establish some kind of pylon on the low ground. He's most likely gonna get his second pylon there. He'll chrono boost Stalker 1 and 2. The reason you have to do it is in order to fight the first 2 stalkers of your opponent, otherwise you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And because the moment you spend your chrono boost on the Nexus, it actually is kind of useless because then you can't afford stalkers at all, you can't afford your battery, you just can't afford a lot of things, which obviously isn't ideal. I don't think you can afford Stalker 3 and 4 either in that case. So even here you see there's a small delay there. We have full gas mining for Drogo, so most likely going to be followed up by something that requires quite some gas. If you see, for example, a 3 or 4 gate defense, a lot of the time we have Protoss players pulling 1 or 2 probes out of gas, but that's not going to be the case here for Drogo, who follows up with a Stargate. So this is one of the responses that I've been working on for a while, that I do think has some future. But I'm not entirely sure how viable it is. But Drogo apparently knows how viable it is, and he's most likely just gonna get out Phoenixes. I think this is a Phoenix defense. The thing with people always say, well, why not Void Rays? Because eventually the player can just get enough Stalkers to one-shot Void Rays, or you can even get Disruptors, and then without any real units to help the Void Ray, it's not actually that great. With Phoenixes, you can lift the Immortal, it can't be saved by the Prism, and then all of a sudden ShoWTimE is going to be looking quite weak if his first Immortal does get lifted. First Phoenix is out here. Oh, this is very, very bad actually. If he gets a lift on this Immortal now, that means that his first Immortal is just going to die for free, and he does get a lift, so first Immortal does end up dying. 2 workers will die in the turn, so it's not a free kill. There is a bit of a trade here. There's 3 batteries downstairs. Ooh, that's a nasty force field, but instantly recalls his units down onto the low ground. But this is gonna die. Oh, mismovement! Massive mismovement there by Drogo, who could have gotten that Prism, but actually misses there slightly. Some big miss micro. Now he still has 2 Phoenixes. He can left. He can lift this next Immortal, but he's not macroing well either. He has he's a little bit supply blocked. There's a 3rd gate on the way, but oh, are you joking? This is the 2nd time this Prism managed to escape with 5 HP. I don't think Drogo should actually be moving forward. This is going to cost him some Phoenixes. Does end up getting the Immortal though, so perhaps it was worth it. Loses in Stalker. Doesn't have any Phoenixes remaining. What is the unit count here really? So there's 3 gate against 3 gate. There's 33 workers against 22. But there's 3 batteries here with the overcharge. Why is he so far out? He does not need to be on the map whatsoever right now. Loses 2 Stalkers for free. You have so many batteries. You're up 12 workers and a base. You're getting a 3rd gas against a guy that literally only has gateway units at this point. How is this possible? 4th gate on the way, so Drogo is going to be outproducing his opponent completely here. No more Immortals are being built from this robotics facility. I mean, Drogo still is in a good position, don't get me wrong. Continues Phoenix production for now. There's a couple of sentries out, which might make this harder. There's no probe here that can actually wall Drogo. Oh my god, you gotta be joking. Another decently sized error here coming out of Drogo. He's gonna be losing a couple of adepts for free. He's gonna lose some probes as well, which once again isn't really the end of the world. Drogo still completely outmining his opponent here. This is gonna cost ShoWTimE a bit as well. I mean, that's a bunch of... oh, no, not again, right? There's no way. If this thing survives one more time. Okay, well, it was more fair. It didn't take too much damage. 7 probes are dead at this point. Oh, Drogo's gonna be out of position here. Battery overcharge is being used. Not going to be enough for that one stalker that dies immediately. Army count is tilting in favor of ShoWTimE at this point. There's only 3 batteries left. 3 Phoenixes are out. What really is there left here for ShoWTimE? He's gonna try to shade into the main base, but that's not a good idea. There's 3 Phoenixes in position. This should not be a finish, yeah. 3 adepts are being built there. There's 4 gateways, 5 gateways, jeez, out for Drogo. So his production should be absolutely insane, but I feel like he needs to pull probes or something, because with these force fields, no battery energy available, no battery overcharge available. So it's actually taking a pretty poor fight here. Once again going on a dive for this prison. You've gotta be joking me. The 3rd time he dives, the 3rd time he fails. This prison is a hero. An absolute hero. What a sad first game here for PtitDrogo, who is now fighting away from the batteries once again. Now there is an overcharge ready in a couple of seconds. There's another battery on the way. He's still up 16 workers. He's doubling the income of his opponent. He has 5 gates against 3 gates, so he's outproducing his opponent. He has defender's advantage. He has more income. This really seems like a difficult one to lose here. He still has the ability to pull probes as well, because his main is about to start running out, so 8 probes can just be lost for free basically at this point. ShoWTimE's time is running out as well. We see these patches are running dry soon. Battery overcharge is still available. Yes, no. No current boost has been used so far. There's 1 immortal out here as well right now. Overcharge gets used, one of the front batteries. That's a little bit dangerous. Phoenixes are gonna get 2-shot by these stalkers, even though there is battery overcharge. I think Drogo just does not have enough stuff. He's getting a Twilight Council. If anything, I think a Robo as a follow-up would have been a bit better. He still has some batteries available, of course, but these adepts just don't do the damage. Good force fields coming out of ShoWTimE, who's going to be able to clear a couple more units here. 2 adepts. Phoenix go down, and now that the batteries are running low, what is there left here for Drogo? Honestly, there's still a prism warping in. There's still a big stalker count as well. This is looking very, very nasty here. ShoWTimE having a very good time, but I don't think he really should have had such a good time. As this first game definitely should have been in favor of PtitDrogo. With a bit of a trial. Of course, happens to the best. Probably not too familiar yet in these scenarios exactly what the unit movement is. And even though it looks obvious from a spectator point of view, it's probably not that obvious in the game. So there's a couple of missed micros that even I can find an excuse for. With 1 more battery overcharge does get used immediately. I think that's the correct call, honestly, because probes being pulled here for ShoWTimE, and I pretend like this game is over, but there's a charge on the way. I feel like if charge actually ends up finishing, this game could still get very, very close. Probe push. Oh yeah, there we go. A couple of probes coming off the line. Is there any probes in the main? Yes. Probes from the main could definitely help down here as well. Battery overcharge still so far away. 30 more seconds. No Phoenixes are out, and charge is just gonna be a little too far away at this point. Another big probe pool. Army supply heavily in favor of ShoWTimE with the prism to micro to boot. Is definitely going to help. I wouldn't mind seeing a little less gas mining here. Pull out the probes from gas in the main. We still have Drogo with about 300 more minerals per minute, but he's so far down in army supply. Charge finishes up. Battery overcharge is available again. Oh, but there's no energy this time around, so battery overcharge won't be able to get used. Final battery will most likely go down soon as well, so not even sure how good that would have been. Drogo is gonna be definitely taking the highway to Tilt City at this point. Oh my god, this prison could make any grown man cry. He has seen some stuff. GG gets called as ShoWTimE wins game number 1 in this best of 5 between these European powerhouses. Let's head into game number 2. There we go. Best of 5 between ShoWTimE and Drogo. For that first banger of a game. Now we're seeing Drogo opening up with a classic pylon in the wall. People always wonder why that pylon is in the wall, and that's in order to be able to build batteries on the low ground when you are using your second pylon as a proxy somewhere on the map. Gateway Scout coming out of ShoWTimE here, man. This guy does not mess around. Oh, he's afraid of that Nexus first, and he knows it. Oh god, does he know how afraid he is of that Nexus first. Drogo scouting around in his natural with his probe as well is going to be looking for some potential cannon rush. You know, ShoWTimE I don't think ever really cannon rushed in his life, honestly. A little bit of mineral harassment coming out of ShoWTimE as well. Cybercore going down for both players, and we have Drogo of course with that probe on the map. This first pylon indicated already, like I said, there's going to be at least some type of proxy. It doesn't need to be a real one. Usually just the thought that there might be a real proxy is going to be enough to send shivers down the opponent's spine. And that's probably what Drogo is going to be doing here as we see him moving out with his probe. He's going to be scouting around for not quite what for. I like that he's just going to wait here. The moment you show your probe, of course, before the core finishes, it just means that there's no way that probe could have proxied anything in his life. So hiding it, pretending like you're building a secondary tech after your cyber core is definitely the wisest play. And then you go in at around 220. I think still this is a little bit too fast. 215, 216 still means if it's a proxy robo of some sort, it's going to be pretty close. I much prefer 223, 224, 225, something like that. But Drogo's gonna Drogo. He's gonna stay in his opponent's base. Now I'm a big fan of this play. I would love for him to go more towards that left side. That way you trick your, especially if you're opening adepts actually like Drogo is, you keep your opponent in his own base for longer, and he won't be able to establish any type of map control, which is a very big deal if you're playing adept, because if you get 2 adept and you get that first shade into your opponent's mineral line, the game can just end. You get 4 or 5 worker kills this early in the game. That's definitely a good thing. So let's see what ends up happening here. 2 more adepts are on the way for Drogo as well. Gonna be going into 4 adept, 6 adept, followed up by a robo, and most likely 8 adept actually. I've seen this build many times before. Very, very popular at the moment, and ShoWTimE completely respecting this. He builds a battery in the natural already. He's gonna build a Twilight at the front. I haven't seen this defense yet. Huh. He's gonna go for a full wall in case it's 8 adept. This is really interesting. I actually have not seen this defense yet. So I assume he's just gonna full wall the front. That's absolutely brilliant. How hasn't anyone thought of this yet? I love this. There's a reason he's called the Mauer, which for the non-German speakers means the wall. Usually it's because he's so solid and strong, but this is absolutely brilliant. I feel like we used to do this in a long and distant past, but I'm a big fan of this against these 8 adepts. Oh, 8 adepts want to shade in, not today. Drogo's like, hey, what the hell, why are my adepts not moving the way I want them to? 5 stalkers against 8 adepts, not a fight that Drogo wants to take, especially with the support of these sentries in the back. Darkshrine being proxied here for ShoWTimE. I'm such a big fan of this. Kinda delay the blink, of course, for that fast Darkshrine. Man, this is such a cool play. Blink coming down as well as a Forge. I think this game might just end when the DTs pop out. There's not gonna be a robo on time. This Darkshrine is gonna be such a big deal. Shade does end up getting cancelled again. Drogo's feeling like such a prick right now. It's like, oh my god. I built 8 adepts and did nothing with them. Meanwhile, his opponent built 5 stalkers, 3 sentries, has full information of the map, has units that actually build into a composition later on as well. With these stalkers, of course, we're most likely going to be seeing a blink follow-up here. It's going to be 3 DTs, I think, or 2 DTs. There's only cash for 2 DTs, so it's going to be 2 DTs for now. It's just 1 DT for now. Is there a robo for Drogo? That's almost a rhyme, but not quite. There is a robo on the way for Drogo, which honestly, that's not quite gonna cut it. It's like almost wearing a condom. Congratulations, you're now a father. Yeah, this is just it. This is just going to be it. There's no detection. Drogo immediately GG's out and ShoWTimE takes the lead 2-0 in this best of 5, putting ShoWTimE on a match point. So let's head into game number 3 and see what they can do. Alright everyone, welcome back to the 3rd game between Drogo and ShoWTimE, where once again we have ShoWTimE scouting with a 13, or a gateway scout, excuse me, once again. And we have Drogo with the standard pylon. Most likely gonna be proxying something. Now, I've kinda gotten tired of the proxy that Drogo does, where he just proxies a pylon and then scouts with it, but shows that he's building units a little bit too fast. I'm not a massive fan of that. Hopefully we're going to be seeing something else here, as it has been a little bit obvious, honestly. Like, I don't mind proxying just a pylon, but at least have the decency to pretend that you can't build your units immediately. Now, I'm going to explain exactly what I mean here in a second. Once we hit the 2-minute mark, the cybercores start finishing up. It's a little bit of analysis. As if you take a look at the money as these cores start finishing up, you're gonna see that there's gonna be enough money for about 1 major tech structure and 1 unit. So we see this core finish up, there's about 300 minerals in the bank and about 150 gas. Now imagine a robo being built. In that case, you can really only build 1 adept initially, and you definitely can't build the warp gate yet. So maybe you can build 2 adepts, just barely. So the moment ShoWTimE sees 2 units and a warp gate being built at the same time, he immediately knows, okay, this can't be a proxy building, this is just a fake proxy pylon. And that's gonna give such clarity of mind here for ShoWTimE, where he's like, okay, I know what I'm playing against, I know what this is. This proxy pylon did absolutely nothing here for Drogo, because ShoWTimE is smart enough to realize that. He's just gonna be looking for that pylon right now. He's not really caring too much about the actual, you know, exactly what it's going to be, but as you know, if he finds it, he might be able to kill it later on, and maybe Drogo wants to build a dark shrine there later on, or wants to warp in a couple of adepts there. Now, a bit of adept trade in the middle of the map goes in favor of ShoWTimE. Oh my god, 2 adepts get into the main base and start killing workers. Now it's gonna be the amount of workers lost here. It's gonna go up to 4 or 5 workers, 6 workers go down, so that's gonna be set. No, ShoWTimE decides not to kill anything here. A little bit of a mistake. He loses second adept, but 6 workers for 2 adepts. You can see in the worker count right now, 19 to 27. This is really gonna hurt the income of Drogo moving forward into this game. Now we don't have a wall like we had last time here for ShoWTimE. He decided not today. No wall today. His probes have gone away. Instead he's just gonna get a couple of more adepts, gets a battery of his own. We're gonna see the 8 versus 6 adept 5. Now usually this goes in favor of the 8 adept guy, because he's gonna be one-shotting adepts initially. So even if there's a battery, it shouldn't matter too much. The main thing for Drogo to do is to shade straight on top of the adepts. That's going to be absolute priority. Oh, gets 1 adept for free. Gets a second adept almost. But then there's the heal, obviously. More heal coming down. Oh my god, everything's going wrong here for Drogo, who... It started great, but ended up like crap. Right now we have, what... 5 adepts versus 5 adepts, and 6 workers have gone down on Drogo's side. Now, usually 6 workers isn't that big, but if you lose them at the 2 or 3-minute mark, that's kind of a big deal. It really stunts your growth in the game. You see the massive supply lead here for ShoWTimE already, even though we're early in the game. 10 workers up currently. Dark Shrine coming out of Drogo. Now I kind of like this. There's two major comeback mechanics that we have as Protoss in PvP, and one of those is Disruptors, the other is the Dark Shrine, and I have a feeling we might just be ticking off the list here with Drogo, who, don't forget, if he loses this game, is dead. There's no coming back into this series then. Not that I'm aware of, at least. Maybe there's some tricks in the rulebook, but I wouldn't want to resort to using those. We have a shade forward by Drogo, most likely just going to be a cancel. No, oh, luckily I was following these adepts. I was saying it's most likely going to be a cancel because Glaives is not done yet, so once again, kind of an, I don't want to say nonsensical move, but a weird one at least. We have Hallucination on the way for ShoWTimE. Is in the main base of Drogo right now. I think it scouted the Dark Shrine as well. We're going to have a look at that after the shade. Glaives has finished now. This is going to cost ShoWTimE at least a couple of probes. Going to be 2-3 probes going down here. 2 probes so far, 3 probes. 4 probes, wow, fantastic. So yes, he has seen the Dark Shrine. ShoWTimE is aware that DTs are on the way, or at least that the potential of DTs is there. No second observer yet. One observer is in the middle of the map, weird location. I'm starting to wonder if perhaps ShoWTimE has seen it but not noticed it. Of course a real possibility as well. Let's actually go into his camera for now. See what he's doing. Oh, he sees the shade on the map, the glimmer. Walls off immediately. Where's the recall? Yes, starts recalling the observer. Loses 6, 7. 7 workers, 3 DTs, 2 DTs, 3 DTs. 3 DTs for 7 workers. Now, usually not a massive fan of that kind of stuff, but in this case, as Drogo is behind, I think trading units for workers is fine. As long as you don't die, you might have a chance back into the game. I love that he's sending out every single unit that he has. 3 more adepts making their way across the map. Drogo actually has 0 units. He's just behind this. He's just praying he's not gonna get attacked, right? He has 1 DT and 3 adepts. That's it. Like even 2 adepts in a prism could kill him. Anything across the map literally will kill him. Still a probe here, so these 3 adepts should not be able to honestly do too much, right? 2 adepts shade in. Oh, probe not paying attention. This is gonna get a couple of workers actually, and more importantly, it's gonna delay the push out here coming out of ShoWTimE. So this is everything that Drogo wants. Gonna get 5, 5, 6, no. Maybe he gets 1 more down here. Maybe 2 more, 6 workers, no. 7 workers, no. 6 workers, yes. Now, that all was very nice and all, but at this point we still have ShoWTimE, who's ahead by about 20 supply. He's up an upgrade. He has charge against someone who only has glaive. There's no blink yet, even though majority of the army here for Drogo consists of stalkers. ShoWTimE is leaving some units at home in case of those pesky adept run-bys. ShoWTimE does need to be careful with that observer though, of course. Once that observer gets sniped, DTs might be able to do something there. Is there a second observer? Yes, there's a second observer on the way, so probably not the biggest of deals even. What you want to really do is you want to lose the first observer. You want to force that battery overcharge and then you just kind of go again afterwards. I love this blink forward. That's a good blink forward because it's the only sentry there. So, okay, maybe it wasn't a great blink forward. He did get the sentry, lost a couple of stalkers, gonna kill 1, maybe 2. Okay, gets an Archon and 2-3 Zealots actually. So that was okay in the end. Good blink forward for another Archon kill maybe, yeah, does do that. Good pick up there by ShoWTimE. Still up 20 supply, but it's getting closer now. +1 is about to finish. Don't forget, the longer the game goes on, the less value is in 20 supply, right? If you have an army of 40 supply against an army of 20 supply, someone literally has double your army size. But all of a sudden, if you have 80 supply against 100 supply, it's a different tale. So the longer Drogo stays alive, it's getting better. And actually, this fight is going extremely well for him here. Good blink forward, still needs to be careful though. 5 more stalkers being warped in. 1 immortal still alive for him though. Archon is about to fall as well. Glaive Adepts putting in some work as well now that all Archons have died. This is some very good fighting here by Drogo, and honestly pretty poor by ShoWTimE, who was floating a lot of money during that fight, still floating 800 gas, 400 minerals. Oh yeah, ShoWTimE. And we have a Colossus on the way. RoboBay was built during that time. I thought it was going to be for disruptors, but Drogo has different plans. Blink forward. Recall. I mean, this is 1 extra. Sell it down. No. Salad stays alive with 4 HP for now. Cute little recall. Is ShoWTimE ahead right now? I mean, no, not really. There's a lot of mobility here on Drogo's side. There's an Immortal still. There's a drop in the main base, which is annoying, but Colossi will come to the rescue here. Archon's getting desperately low. You have Drogo with a drop on the other side as well. Don't forget, there's no Blink or Stargate on the side of ShoWTimE, so dealing with drops is going to be a lot harder. Drogo, once his Stalkers return, this is going to get cleaned up 100%. 7 workers go down. Drogo getting Colossus, Thermal Land. You have RoboBay on the way here for ShoWTimE. Second Robo, no, not yet. Second Robo goes down now, but no third base, which means ShoWTimE is moving into an all-in position here. Really, where the only thing he can do is attack. And double Robo takes a while to kick in, so I don't quite understand what timing his attack is gonna hit. Especially if Drogo is also moving out, right? Is this a base trade on purpose? Did he see the move out and was like, okay, I can't fight this army, I'm gonna base trade on purpose? If so, I don't completely mind that, even though I mean, he would have had 1 disruptor for the fight here, but only a single battery. Thermal Lens would have finished. There is a Prism for Drogo as well, still doing some damage in the main base. ShoWTimE arrives on the other side of the map as well. Third base under attack right now, but the main base and the natural are under attack here for ShoWTimE, who seems to be giving away one of the easiest games of his life. So honestly, after Drogo threw that game number 1, I thought that was going to be the biggest throw we have this series, but this is just as bad, if not a close second. It's not over yet, but Drogo has a lot of money in the bank. He continues mining, of course. He has recall available as well. I do... no energy. Okay, energy in the main base. Yes, recall is available. He hasn't used it yet. Blink down. No. No. Yes. Yes, blink down. Gets... no, doesn't get really anything there. Gets an Archon. Colossi from the high ground doing a lot of damage. We're going to be seeing an Immortal drop on top of this Colossi. More Stalkers being warped in, though will most likely chase this Prism as everything gets cleaned up and Drogo will take this game 65 supply against 22. And ShoWTimE has to concede his first game in this series. It's going to keep the dream alive for Drogo. GG gets called. There we go, game number 3. Drogo wins. Drogo finally getting his map win, even though he deserved it in game 1 already. Or he probably should have taken it. No such thing as deserving wins. You take wins. You lose them. You can't deserve them. If you deserve them, you would have had it. Once again, Gateway Scout, man, ShoWTimE, such a G. Gateway Scout every single game, man. This guy doesn't care about money at all. He lives a frugal lifestyle. Just wants to stay alive. That's really all he cares about. Gets the 5 kilo bags of rice. Mixes in some beans. Gets all the micronutrients. Minimum amount of money spent. Food doesn't taste great, but damn does he stay alive. Frugal lifestyle. Drogo on the other hand, living lavishly. Second Gate Scout. This guy has no shame. Would have died against any 1 Gate Expand or Nexus first, or at least wouldn't be able to respond properly. ShoWTimE, man, this guy is a legend. Wonder what Drogo's gonna do. Are we actually gonna see another proxy pylon? I mean, ShoWTimE didn't even buy it the first 2 times. Oh, I like this though. Like, why would you fake a proxy pylon? Okay, yeah. This is good stuff. Now I'm a fan. Okay, this actually is cool. You know, I don't mind this too much. Ah, my god, ShoWTimE. You absolute tryhard looking for all the pylons around the map. ShoWTimE somehow managing to get a faster core than Drogo as well by like 4 seconds. I have no clue how that's possible with a Gateway Scout. He must have the absolute best probe micro in the West. Holy cow. That makes 0 sense. Actually 0 sense. Like negative sense. Ooh. This is an old school build. This is what Cest used to play every single game. He played these stupid 6 adepts into Oracle. I think, yeah, you get a Nexus now. Then you get your Oracle and 2 more adepts. Or maybe 2 more adepts and then an Oracle. I honestly can't remember. I wish I knew though. But I don't. Oh, I wish I knew. Okay, so just gonna stay on 4 adepts. Seems like, at least for now. Now, the power of this build is that currently it's very popular for professional video gamers to play 6 or 8 adepts. And then you don't really leave anything in the main base because you're just preparing for the low ground adepts, right? You get your battery on the low ground, all the units there as well. We even saw ShoWTimE build a little bit of a wall. It's maybe one of his German habits. ShoWTimE just 8-9 seconds faster with his warp gate. How is that even possible? Oh! Gonna finish that shade. He's gonna get 4 workers here. Oracle is on the way as well. Is he gonna get this sentry? No, he's not. 3 workers go down. Nexus is delayed for ShoWTimE, so that sucks for him. If these get into the main base, that could be big news. 1 sentry goes down. Is there a battery here? No, there's not. How out of position is Drogo? Is the real question here. He's 5 out of position. We usually measure the amount of probes lost. Like how many probes is he gonna lose to this out of position? I think the answer is 5. Come on, micro your Oracle. Don't make me look like an idiot. 4. 4 out of position. He was only 4 out of position. So there's no skill there either. Because you can get 17. It's not like a 1 to 10 skill. It's like a really a 0 to infinite skill, depending how many probes your opponent has. In this case 0 to about 30. This is still a good Oracle though. 4 workers. We see once again ShoWTimE up 8 workers. It feels like that no matter what really happens in the early game, ShoWTimE's gonna get a head out of it. Like, I feel like these guys could play different build orders for the next 7 days and Drogo would get behind every single time. It seems like ShoWTimE's understanding of the early game is just so good. His unit control, his unit movement. I feel the same when I play against him. That it, you know, every single time you play against him, it feels like you have a build order loss. Even if you play reverse build orders in game number 2. You know, you play game 1, he plays Adept Oracle, you play Stalker. It's like, oh man, that's such a build order win for him. And then the second game you reverse the positions, and then once again you're like, man, that's such a build order win. Like what he does is just so much better. It's just what he does, not actually the build order. It's really sick. That's a swift kill there. On that Oracle, Blink's about to finish up for ShoWTimE faster than Drogo. Man, that's... Oh yeah, Drogo's gonna be so sad. If he would be aware of this, he would be very sad. Playing against someone that opens Oracle and then having slower Blink than him. Like this guy built an Oracle, my friend. That's 300 invested. And you have slower attack. Like that's a yikes from me there, my friend. That's a yikes from me. Blink does finish. Tries to catch that Oracle. Does not succeed, of course. German Pro is a little bit too fast for the French Blink. French not quite as quick at attacking as they are at running away. Yeah, third base is coming out for both players. Charge on the way for ShoWTimE as well, who actually went up to 4 gases. Now, the most common thing to do these days is to stay on 3 gas for a while and try to push your advantage from there, try to leverage your Blink Stalker count into something. That's not going to be the case here for Drogo, right? Drogo's down 5-6 workers. There's nothing to leverage because he has no advantage. He can only really leverage his crap position. Now, it doesn't look that bad to the uninitiated, but let's not forget, this is only 5 gateways here. If you take a look at ShoWTimE and we count, we see 8 gateways already. We see 4 gases done. Could be moving into 6 gas soon. The only thing ShoWTimE is slightly behind in is that +2. So even though these situations look very similar, I much prefer the situation for ShoWTimE. On top of that, he has 2 Immortals as well. And he has mined a little bit more gas in this game so far. And he spent it less on Stalkers. And Stalkers are good if you get stuff done with them. But if you get nothing done with your Stalkers, then really it was just a terrible gas sink. And who really wants a terrible gas sink? I don't even like good gas sinks. I just don't like gas sinks in general. A helicopter flies over my house. Not sure if you guys can catch that. They can't find me, I'm inside. Idiots. Hallucinated Phoenix is on the way. Poof. Gets poofed. And here we see the advantage for ShoWTimE. You know, up 20 supply. Well, 10 supply still after that warp in. Only 5 Stalkers being built at a time. Disruptors are on the way here for... No. Disruptors not on the way. It's going to be Colossus. Double Rogo Colossus here from ShoWTimE. From Drogo, jeez. Messing up their names. They're not even that alike. Why did Drogo change his mind? I mean, there's Phoenix production on the way, but how did he know? He didn't. He gambled. He felt it. He looked. He smelled. Smells like Phoenix. And he went Colossi. I like it. I still have a feeling that at any given point in this game, that if ShoWTimE would just commit to an attack, that Drogo would be in a lot of trouble. I guess we're going to see that here. +2 is about to finish up. +3 on the way already for Drogo. Jeez. Drogo is like, alright, I know I'm in a bad spot, but if I survive this, I might be in a good spot. Double Robo Colossi. I mean, the investments he just made during that time where he didn't have these 2 Colossi, he invested in a 2nd Robo, an eBay, thermal lens, and 2 Colossi. Which is altogether about like 700 gas. That's like 2 Archons and like 5-6 Zealots, you know? That's what he was lacking. Now that he has 2 Colossi though, I can understand why ShoWTimE finds this a little bit daunting. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be a yak from me there, lads. Give a bit of a run by coming out of Drogo as well, trying to keep the pressure on the other side. What is... Oh no. ShoWTimE's little brother took over. That's not good. Rallying Phoenixes to the front. Forward base is on the way for Drogo. ShoWTimE still in a leading position, but I feel like if you let your opponent come back into a game like this, where once again his start was way superior, he had ample opportunities to kill his opponent, and you don't do it, well, it starts messing with your head a little bit. If you can't even win a game where you're this far ahead, what's going to happen in a game where you're even? You know, you start asking yourself those questions. At least I would start asking myself those questions. Start looking in the mirror. Is this really my body? Yes, that's really your body. The mirror doesn't lie. Start thinking about the weird interactions you've had in your life. Oh. Stasis trap. Catches 4 Stalkers. Panic blink by Drogo as a response. Makes no sense, but I appreciate it. Drogo's just gonna yeet in here, down 30 supply. Does have +3 soon. There's a lot of cash in the bank as well, honestly. I wouldn't mind it. This is one hell of an army. With +3, if he fights 3 seconds before ShoWTimE's +3 finish, this is gonna be the absolute game of a lifetime for Drogo. I feel like he should just retire after this game and give ShoWTimE the win then. Colossi doing quite some damage, slashing, smashing, swiping these zealots away. That's the word I was looking for. Move was really nice. Good kiting here coming out of Drogo. Let's move back a little bit. +3 is about to finish up for ShoWTimE as well. There's still some disruptor shots. Now Drogo has one of these tricks. He's got the idiot blink where he blinks forward, where it looks like you really shoot him. Whoop! Whoop! And it always works. 2 disruptor just falling like that. 10 probes go down. Good colossal guy coming out of Drogo as well. Move back. This disruptor shot's gonna do nothing ShoWTimE and you know it. Oi. ShoWTime's gonna lose his fort base. Drogo's not even mining from his fort yet, but I don't think Drogo gives a crap right now. He's on the warpath and he's ready to go. Oh, big disruptor shot though. 1 hit. Second one hits. That was too big. Drogo needs to be careful. There's a lot of money in the bank as well. Maybe he should have cared about that fort base. Attacking into a concave like this or into a choke like this. Excuse me, it's not the way you want to do it ShoWTimE. Another disruptor finishes, but really only Archon's going down. Some reinforcements here. There's a blink forward coming out of Drogo. I think this might be. I can't believe Drogo is anything. Whoa, maybe spoke too soon. This is actually so sick. Alright, I should stop speaking probably. One more, come on baby. Do it! Oh my god, ShoWTimE. Oh, you're gonna have a rough night here in ShoWTimE. Oh, yeah. That is not gonna be fun. Some twisting and turning, reliving those painful moments where you know you could have won if you just aimed. Oh, this was a very, very long game of opportunities for Drogo to die, but he does take it, ties up the series. We'll be going to the rubber match. Alright, the final game between Drogo and ShoWTimE. This is gonna be a banger, I can guarantee you that. So we have ShoWTimE here in the top right. But this is one of those maps where Nexus First is absolutely buzzing. And if you're gonna play it on Eternal Empire, God knows you should play Nexus First on Pillars of Cold. Because this is the map with the ramp, my friends. This is it. Peak Nexus First performance on this map. If ShoWTimE gate scouts one more time, I'm actually gonna tweet at him. No, I won't. The man with the frugal lifestyle. Still had a Cybercore 6 seconds faster in the last game though, for no reason whatsoever. Drogo probably fell asleep at the start of the game. Feels like Drogo sleeps a lot during the first 3 minutes of the game. So far he lost every single game in the first 3 minutes. And then has to work his absolute butt off to come back into the game for the next 12 minutes. To get into an even position. And once the game is even, Drogo doesn't really seem to lose. But holy crap, are those first 3 minutes long. No. Probius. Stuck behind a mineral patch. Oh, there we go. Probe AI is actually so dumb. Sometimes they'll be stuck behind a... I say that and there's gonna be people like, oh, Brood War's way worse. Way worse. Yeah, that's true. Brood War AI was actually terrible. This is just... bad sometimes. Not even always. Just sometimes it's bad, okay? ShoWTimE, Drogo. Which one of these guys is gonna win the best of 5? I don't know. I don't know, but I just want to see a game where Drogo does not lose 12 workers in the first 3 minutes. Then I want to see what ShoWTimE does in that case. It's gonna open up with Stalker, so I feel like Drogo has an opportunity here to actually get into an even game. And then I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for that, because it doesn't seem to happen an awful lot where we see those even games. Sentry as a follow-up on Stalker. This is a good start here for Drogo, honestly. Adapt into Nexus. Sentry. This is really, really nice for him. I'm a big fan of this build order. He's gonna get a very fast Nexus with this. I hope. Yeah. Did he kill the probe? No, he didn't. Where did the probe? Okay, here it is. Idiot probe. Finds that pylon. God, probes are dumb. Oh, oh, the reverse. Look at this. No. This is the life Australians live every day. They walk out of their front door, see like 2 snakes and a crocodile. Like, oh, back inside. Actually, Australians probably just wave at them and keep walking. Oh, you snake, mate. What are you up to? That's not an Australian accent, is it? That's okay. No one really knows what they talk like. I love this. I love the Twilight in front. Even though this time it's not going to be many adepts, there's the possibility of it being many adepts, and ShoWTimE is preparing for it. And I'm a fan of that. I really am a fan of that. It's just 2 adepts this time around. And that's okay. That really is a-okay. Texas Stalker. Even worker count. Dark Shrine. Proxy Dark Shrine. Just like on the 2nd map, I think it was. Proxy Dark Shrine on, what's it called? Death Aura. One hell of a map that was, eh? Just Drogo died after 5 minutes. Let's see if it's gonna be similar this time around. Robo going down. +1 on the way for Drogo. These centers are gonna die. That's 1. There's no battery here. There's no guardian shield. That's 2. A couple of probes are gonna die as well. This is bad for ShoWTimE. This is bad news. That's 3. That's 4. And then it's 5. Shades out with 1. That's cannons. How the hell does he know? He doesn't know. It's just a feeling. More than a feeling. More than a feeling. More than a feeling. Oh, forgot to cancel this. Does he just build 1 or 2? It's the single cannon, legend. In the main base as well, completely useless. TTs are gonna come in the natural, my friend. Has an observer on the... Wait. Oh, he cancelled the Dark Shrine after seeing the cannon in the main. No. After seeing the Robo. Ah, okay. That's a legendary place. So this is a very fast 3rd base of 2 gates. You see Forge Twilight blink. Could be going into at least a couple more gateways now. Oh, I don't like this. Straight charge out of ShoWTimE. 4 gas before Nexus. Oh, this is the scenario where the new battery does so much work, honestly. So much work. This is a bit yikesy. There's nothing here. Oh, beautiful blink. Only a single adept gets in and there's a cannon there, so... Oh, you absolute legend. Loses completely nothing. Absolutely nothing. +2 on the way already, so... The reason why this scenario is good for Drogo is because with a battery and Stalkers, you can do a lot of damage on the other side of the map with your Stalker while your opponent is moving out, and then recall back home into your battery that can overcharge. You can kill prisms, you have so many possibilities. Even before the patch, the Stalker style was getting very popular. But now after the battery overcharges here, I mean, just got like 17 times better. Cannon! You what? I'm loving the +2, by the way. The +2 is a way to say, alright, I have better upgrades now, it's time for you to get out, basically. Wait, he's gonna move out? He's up 8 workers. He has a faster +2. He doesn't have as many gases, but I don't think he should care about that, honestly. I don't think he should care about it whatsoever. I'm not a big fan of this move out. I'm not a fan of this move out. I mean, there's not that many immortals. There's a 2nd immortal on the way. Immortals with +1. 3-shot Stalkers. And Prism can save immortals forever, honestly. There's no charge lots, is there? How many charge lots do we have here? 0, jeez. Nah, you can't fight this, right? I mean, this army of ShoWTimE is more supply. Upgrades are equal, and I feel like the quality is higher here for ShoWTimE as well. Oh, forward. Oh, there by ShoWTimE, who's gonna end up killing a couple of those Stalkers. I'm not a fan of this attack by Drogo. I'm not a fan at all. Does get the prism, which is good. But he could have been enlarging his lead. Give it more length. Bigger lead. There we go. Not sure what I was thinking. This actually... I thought this looked really good, but now all of a sudden I'm like... You're gonna need to warp in some zealots, perhaps do some harassing to the main base. ShoWTimE isn't ready for that yet. He doesn't have blink either. I'd really love to see some harassing to the main base. Man, Drogo just keeps going. He's gonna blink into the main base actually. Gonna snipe one pylon. I got 1 or 2 zealots here, so this is so annoying to deal with. And now all of a sudden ShoWTimE's completely out of position. You gotta be joking me. You gotta be kidding me. Drogo's just gonna walk in here. Oh! The double juke. Jumps on top of the Immortals, kills the Prism, right clicks the second Immortal. Where's the Prism here for Drogo? It's down here. Still no +2 for ShoWTimE, who probably wasn't really chronoing that whatsoever. 7 workers going. I think ShoWTimE died. GG gets called Drogo. I can't believe it. What a game, what a series. Reverse sweep here by Drogo, who wins the series 3-2. Congratulations to him, but the real winners here, of course, are the viewers. If you think so too, don't forget to smash the like button. I love you all. See you all next time. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.